All right, everyone. So today I want to talk about steamers. To be specific, commercial steamers. Now, these steamers are used in settings where a lot of food is going to be cooked. The reason why is because these steamers can cook a lot of varieties of food, and they're easy to use and they save a lot of space that a lot of other machines would need to be used. So especially schools are not allowed to fry. They're not allowed to fry things like they're not allowed to serve fried foods to kids anymore due to health concerns. So these steamers come in very handy because they have to steam things like vegetables. It makes it very easy to steam a lot of things. So they use it. They're fast, they're efficient, they save space, they save time. The maintenance on these are pretty minimal, as you can see. Right here on the side, you have your components. You have pumps, you have regulators, you have you have all your hoses. They're high heat temp hoses, so that's why some of them are thicker and covered in that tape, which they come like that from factory. Okay, so the bottom and the top both have their own components. From the front side, you're gonna see they both have their own controls, and one dial says minutes. The bottom switch says time. Then it also has a manual switch. So when you switch it up, you're able to use the minute dial and put whatever time you want. It will stop whenever it's done. If you use the manual switch, it means it'll cook as long as these doors are closed. When you open it, it stops. Okay? So right here, we're going to be doing descaling. They're descaling these units because, well, the school season's starting and things have to be in tip-top shape. So no conveniences come up. Okay, so right here, we are going to leave the machine on the manual. So you're going to put it on manual, which means it's going to cook as long as it's closed, and it'll stop when you open it. Up top, you have this fill. So usually it has a brass top on it, which doesn't let any debris get in it and seals the circuit of the water plumbing. Okay, so right here we have a descaler. Descaler, we all know what that is. You can use it in your house anywhere you want, right? It's perfect for cleaning things. What we're going to do is we're going to put a hose and shove it in there and just put down your descaler. All right? You're going to let it fill until the solution has filled up the whole thing. You're also going to take off a coupling in the rear, which lets air out. It's this one right here. That is so air comes out and all of this can be put in through. Now, the way that the descaler has made it through the system and that it's full of the descaler, which is how it should be, is you look at your water levels right here, where your contacts and your sensors are. Okay, so you can see in the picture, it is full. Here's another view of what it looks like when it's full right here. All right, you can see the hoses are green. This is all it takes. You look at that, it's full. Okay, you're ready. Now, you are going to set the timer for 60 minutes. Basically, you're going to wait until this whole thing goes through a cycle and it circulates the descaler through the whole thing. It's going to shut off when the timer is done. You're going to know, okay, it made a cycle, everything is through, everything should be clean. Now, you're going to do the same procedure with baking powder or some other kind of neutralizer to neutralize the acid in the system. The reason is that this descaler is very strong, and if it stays in those lines, it's going to corrode every fitting. Brass fitting is going to eat through anything that it comes in contact with. Besides the fact that you don't want this in your system because you are cooking food with the water that goes through there that it's being turned into steam. You don't want any chemicals in there. So you're going to flush it twice. You're going to run 2 cycles. You're going to fill it up with, baking powder. Make sure you leave it in there for a little bit, run 2 flush cycles, and then by the end of that you put some fresh new water in there, and you should be good. Now the reason why these things are done is scale buildup a lot in these systems, and the reason is because different of these places are in areas where the water filtration is different, or their water sources come from a different process. Some remote areas where get water with a lot of minerals in it, and these minerals heat up. When the water is heat up in these machines to a high temperature, it kind of makes the minerals come apart from the water, and they start sticking to walls and to the metals. So they don't necessarily go with the water. They get stuck to the components where the water passes through and be stored and all that. And then that creates blockages, and that creates just unhealthy conditions for water to flow through and be cooked with for, human consumption. So there you go, guys. You learn how to descale one of these units. It's a commercial unit. I'm not going to tell you what the brands are or anything like that. I'm going to keep it simple. And, this is exactly how you do it. So you have a good day. Subscribe, like my videos, comment, do whatever you want. But make sure you have a good night.